Hi, my name is Janet Jegnickel, and this presentation is on organization development and my self-assessment. In looking at the presentation today, we will be recognizing the areas that I agreed with from the OD survey, including organizational life attributes, fostering organizational change, and then looking at my professional goal. So the area that I was in agreement with was employee motivation. Intrinsic motivation is personal satisfaction an individual feels when they accomplish goals, such as performing well, learning a new skill, or accomplishing a new task. OD survey statements number 4 and number 21. What goes on in individual's work group or team has great significance for the individual's feeling of satisfaction and competence, and understanding people's feelings and skill working with feelings opens up avenues for improved organizational performance. So these are both intrinsic motivational statements of how important it is for employees to see that they're achieving something or accomplishing a goal or task. Now, on the opposite spectrum, there's the part where if we don't recognize a constructive contribution and we don't reward it, that we penalize or discourage our employees, and then they won't assist or collaborate further on other projects. Another area that I agreed with was statements regarding the ineffectiveness of teams, work groups, or committees. Number 5 stated most managerial and administrative groups, teams, and committees lack problem-solving skills. Many times we're looking for a quick solution, or we don't do the research, and so our solutions actually cause more problems than affect a real good lasting change that doesn't have negative consequences. And then number 31, the extensive use of teams and committees in most organizations usually results in a good bit of wasted time. Many times we don't have an agenda, or we don't have specific outcomes and timelines or a SMART goal associated with our meetings or committees. So we don't have results or any good output of the time that we've committed to these groups. As far as effectiveness of teams, work groups, or committees, I did agree with the OD survey when one of the most relevant and powerful influences on most people in the organization is the work group or team they are in. We are people who are influenced by others and peer pressure, and so when we're recognized or we work well in a team, that definitely assists us in making a powerful influence on one another. And number 28, a major avenue towards increasing organizational effectiveness is through creating conditions under which members can make greater contributions to organizational goals. With that, we are encouraging and empowering our employees to be decision makers and to be effective in decision making by doing their research, doing their homework, and making sure that any outcomes or decisions made don't have a negative impact on the system or process. So organizational life attribute then would be a cause and effect relationship. OD survey number 9 says what happens in one section, unit, or subsystem of an organization will affect and influence by other parts of the organization. So per our text, OD is interactive, relational, participative, and engaging. So we need to make sure we're being collaborative, that we're looking at all different parts of a system, including the subsystem. So an example is our maintenance and operations department decided to change from blanket POs or open POs to having every single order put in as a separate purchase order and requisition, which they didn't realize the impact on our purchasing department was that there would be a greater workload and volume for them because of all the requisitions and purchase orders that had to be created for every single work order that had a part or something that had to be ordered for M&O. So that was a cause and effect relationship people were not aware of because they didn't discuss it first. Fostering organizational change is through empowering others. In order for a group or team to optimize its effectiveness, the formal leaders cannot perform all the leadership functions. So facilitators of organizational change are not in control, and their role is to facilitate collaboration. As leaders or a change agent, we are to be encouraging, we are to be coaching, but we are not to do. We are there to help them and to lead them through the process and to make the right decisions as they look at the research and as they decide to act and reflect on that. My professional goal is managing distortive communications and resistance. Negative reactions to and evolving characteristics of the change initiative need to be monitored and discussed by the relentlessly working feedback systems. So my goal is to understand that negative reactions is part of the process as well as positive, and we need to really listen to both sides of it and to use our feedback to monitor and make adjustments as needed, and to make sure before we initiate the change that it doesn't negatively impact the system or subsystems involved. So thank you so much for listening to my presentation, and have a great evening.